So we have a positive question mark update on the Pick a Side YouTube drama, and while it seems to be good news, I still have a few questions. So let's get started. As you are all probably aware by now, Mama Max posted an update on Twitter that read, "I had a phone call with YouTube yesterday. We had an unexpectedly successful conversation about pushing the future of the platform in the right direction. I will be meeting up with a representative in person soon to discuss details, and will not stop pounding them until great changes have been made to benefit us creators. I want to extend my sincere gratitude to all of you for spreading the word, both positive and negative, and I want to apologize to all the creators I dragged into this, except Shane. Fuck him. As well as take the time to gush about all of my colleagues who accepted the invitation to appear in my video. You're all the most amazing and beautiful friends a man could ever ask for. I thank you so much for everything. Looks like YouTube takes our side, and I can't wait to see what 2022 brings us. I'm going to get off Twitter now and go back to my hole to make my regular content. I wish you all the best, and please stay safe out there. Happy New Year, everybody." Surface level, this all sounds great. Max will have real communication with a live person within YouTube, and what might be one of the most important collaborations in the history of YouTube. If real change actually happens this time. We all know that this is not the first time that creators have called out YouTube for their head-scratching and frustrating practices. But to date, there hasn't been any real noticeable change on the platform. But in my opinion, if any creator on this platform has the tenacity and stubborn will to demand that change, I really think that Max stands a shot. But then, what are those changes? And how do we ensure YouTube has their feet held to the fire this time? For me, and in my personal opinion, there are a few weak spots in YouTube's practices that need to be addressed. The first and most frustrating aspect is how carefully and diligently we have to comb over our videos. And even though we take every measure to follow YouTube's guidelines and terms of service, the simplest and, frankly, most irrelevant of things can limit the visibility of your content, or even lead to a claim, or a strike. How are we supposed to provide quality content for the platform if, at best, the rules are not clear, and at worst, do not apply the same for everyone? With the massive size of YouTube, it's no surprise that well-known news sources and tabloids will upload news reports to have their own platforms of curated content. And while those channels are able to present topics as news, with no clear repercussions, content creators without mega-billion-dollar news stations or magazines backing them, but are still creators on this platform, will have uneven restrictions placed on their videos that these other channels don't appear to be subject to. One clear example of this comes from news commentary channel Popcorn Planet. Andy Signor, the face of the channel, uploaded a video not realizing that his audio had not recorded. He literally said nothing in his video. However, because he simply had Johnny Depp's name in the title of his video, the video was slapped with limited visibility due to the controversy surrounding Johnny Depp at the time. Everyone was talking about the topic. TMZ ran unchecked, but Popcorn Planet was penalized for doing what his channel does. Commentary. Wait, that's not actually true, because the video was silent. News channels don't have to filter their topics of conversation nearly as rigidly as content creators who use the exact same words. The fact that the rules are not upheld by a human being are probably the greatest challenge. I understand that YouTube is a massive platform with millions of videos being uploaded literally every minute, but the onus is still on YouTube to ensure the safety and fair use for the content creators on their very platform. And while it makes sense that upon a video's initial upload, a computer-based algorithm be initiated to prevent blatant violations to TOS, even though even that doesn't seem to be effective. But I'll come back to that. However, if a video receives a claim and the content creator files a dispute, not only should the claimant be provided access to the content to ensure the accuracy of their claim, YouTube should also have to step up. And absolutely, YouTube should intervene in the instance of a strike. The excuse I was given when my small 8-subscriber channel received a claim was to throw the claimant under the bus and say it was up to them to remove the strike, which is baffling to me. Whose platform is this? Why do the claimants get to decide if my video is fair use under YouTube's terms of service, on YouTube's platform? Why does YouTube not stand up for the creators that make this their platform of choice? We do our due diligence on every video to dodge the many hurdles placed in front of us, and when someone makes a false claim, YouTube's response is, "Too bad, can't help you." Where is the return loyalty? Where is the fairness in the video assessment? Copyright laws exist to protect creators sharing content in a fair use way. Especially for smaller channels not making money for the content we produce, these claims seem baffling and frankly a waste of time. What exactly is the claimant hoping to achieve when we have made damn sure we are following the appropriate guidelines set forth by YouTube? They can't claim the financial gains of the video because there aren't any. Creators exist on this platform, providing endless variety of content in all genres. We follow YouTube's terms of service, and yet when the chips go down and the claims come up, YouTube leaves us on the limb alone, unsure and unprepared on how to defend ourselves against these false claims. We aren't demanding money. We simply want our videos to exist so that anyone who wants to can access our content. When someone takes issue with the content on YouTube's platform, then someone within YouTube needs to insert themselves in the conversation and stand up for their creators. We choose to post to YouTube, and all we ask is that YouTube back us when we are fairly using the platform. If you're not going to stand up for the creators on your platform, why have a platform at all? The creators are YouTube. We are its voice. And the impression we are getting is that YouTube refuses to stand up for us. The buck should stop with YouTube. A human being should review both sides of the claim, review copyright law, and the final say should fall on YouTube. Not the content creator, not the claimant, YouTube, for they are the only impartial voice. It's your platform, your terms of service, and your fucking responsibility to uphold it. The scales are unfairly balanced against the creators, many of which don't have the power, the legal aid, or the understanding of their rights to properly fight these claims. And while in a majority of cases the creator is in the right, many get so discouraged when these claims occur that they just give up, depriving themselves of creating content that they enjoy making and denying others from hearing their voice. The big guys are supposed to stand up for the little guys. YouTube needs to stand up for its creators. If my 8 subscriber channel had been 800,000 subscribers, 8 million, would this have played out differently? Would the fact that my channel is larger and monetized in the partner program with YouTube, meaning they also make some money off of my video, would they be willing to stand up a little more clearly and loudly for me? Therein lies the crux of what I feel is the second concern that I have with the platform. It shouldn't matter the size of our channels. We are all creating content. But it takes a channel the size of Mama Max for someone to take notice of the glaring problems that exist? Although I'm not in a place where I can claim myself as a full-time YouTuber, and may not ever get to that place, my videos and my voice are just as valid as anyone else's. The ability to successfully thrive on YouTube would benefit both the creator and YouTube itself. The platform would see more traffic, more views, more money, and the creators would see their content being appreciated, and a sense of pride would exist. And eventually those smaller channels would also see the money. Seems like a win-win. The ease of being able to post to YouTube is a reason why so many choose to post here. It gives you that false illusion that every video matters in a fair and equal way. Transparency is a must when it comes to the guidelines, and if content creators, no matter their size, are following those guidelines, then there should be fair and equal opportunities for discussion with Team YouTube and with providing visibility to all creators in a fair and equal way. If I reach out to YouTube, I should be answered in the same and fair way that Mama Max was. Not pushed aside as irrelevant because I only have 250 subscribers. And the content of the channels themselves seem to be unfairly balanced as well. Content that is hard to hear does not immediately mean that it is not relevant and that it should not exist on the platform and be readily accessible to everyone who wants to see it. If what is being presented is done to call attention to hurtful situations and to prevent their continuation and is within TOS, then the words we use should not be censored as stringently as they are. YouTube Kids, even though that in and of itself is its own dumpster fire, separates mature content from those geared towards younger viewers. If we are providing the appropriate trigger warnings and stressing viewer discretion, then we are doing our due diligence to make sure that those who continue past those warnings are the people that our videos are intended to see them. If you look at the views of Max's videos, obviously people believe in the message that he is delivering, and they keep coming back. To assume that every person who watches YouTube is objective of specific words is unfair censorship. Yes, there will be some topics that many people will be offended by and may be triggered by. But that is why at the beginning of videos we have that blatant trigger warning at the beginning to ensure that those who see our content are the ones who want to see it and prevent anyone accidentally stumbling upon something potentially triggering. Tamimi posted a video where she stated some words literally shadow banned by YouTube, and the list of words is just confusing. If we are so afraid to speak out, things will never change. If we block certain words and deny their existence, it only gives them more fuel. The longer we refuse to discuss them, the longer they're allowed to burn. Pedophiles exist on this site because we let them. Because YouTube is afraid to have even the word said in a video. They get to exist because YouTube continues to allow them to live in the shadows, instead of letting us, the people, shine a light on a very real and very serious issue. We are never going to get anywhere unless we start calling it out without censorship. We can't talk about pedophiles, but they exist on this platform. We can't show an animated blurred ass in providing a point about these sick individuals, but a real human ass is completely fine, so long as the content is disguised as naked yoga. When content creators post content, we have to blur and obscure what is seen and heard from content that we derived from videos that exist here on YouTube. I absolutely believe in a fair and equitable system to ensure fair use and nonviolent, legal videos being uploaded. But the rules need to make sense. YouTube has the ability to allow for a wide variety of content, and if the content is legal and fair, it should not be as challenging as it is to post content. Intention and perception are two very different things, and I think that is a huge, glaring issue on YouTube. Videos are being limited, demonetized, stricken because of YouTube's perception of how the video will be received and not the intention of the content. YouTube's quality control and terms of service need to take into greater consideration and account intention as opposed to perception. Mama Mac's creating stylized videos, calling attention to victims of pedophilia and providing them a voice when they have been left feeling so unheard. His intentions are clear. Pedophiles running rampant and unchecked across the platform, attempting to lure in young viewers, their intent is also abundantly clear. The intent of our videos should be what we are being judged on. And it is your platform, YouTube. The final say should be yours. And if you truly look at the videos on your site from the stance of intention, then you will see greater success on the platform than has ever been seen before. For everyone, no matter their size, because this allows even the smallest of creators with the best of intentions to see their videos respected and viewed fairly. Which brings me to a suggestion, kind of a detour on our journey here, but it's really all this is just a suggestion, and it is coming from a smaller YouTuber, so take it how you will. When someone is taking in the content on YouTube, they are met with several categories of recommendations. And the more content you consume, the more personalized those recommendations become. The videos that are recommended always come from the larger channels that exist on the platform. But I see some value in having a section of small channel recommendations to allow for the channels who aren't organically getting views an opportunity to make their content more visible. Small does not necessarily mean bad content. Everyone starts somewhere. We all start at zero. So just because a channel isn't yet monetized on YouTube does not mean that it doesn't deserve to be, or that it won't be one day. They just aren't there yet. Small or large videos with good intent and quality content deserve to be seen and given a fair shot at being successful. To promote based on content and intent is going to allow for more success on the platform and give everyone a chance to have their videos seen. And otherwise, a creator that might not have gotten that visibility might finally have that. You can subscribe to as many channels here on YouTube as you want. Believe me, I'm testing those boundaries. So what's the harm in giving a fair shot at success to everyone? More traffic to the platform. More view counts. It all leads to success and happy viewing experiences. What's the harm in promoting the content creators that chose your platform. They chose you. Maybe it's time you show that you choose them back. Who knows when the next Markiplier will post their first video? And simply because of the size of their channel, it may take years before some of us get to see their content. We have to wait for something beyond the control of the creator to see them pop up in our recommended videos. When it comes to YouTube's practices, the little things have become the big things. It seems a small ask that YouTube be willing to stand up and proclaim that in standing up, they do so for the creators on their platform. It should be easy for them to say, we will make sure that before we strike a channel, place a claim on a video, or limit the visibility of its content on our platform, that we can say in no uncertain terms that we stand by that decision 100% as fair and accurate, because we have personally and with human eyes reviewed it, considered the viewpoints of both claimant and creator, and have made a decision based on our terms of service and appropriate copyright law. If YouTube did this, I can all but guarantee that in a majority of instances, limitations, claims, and strikes would decrease drastically, because most content creators I talk to are doing their part to ensure they are following terms of service, that they are taking the appropriate measures to make sure that their videos are suitable for YouTube. We're on your platform, YouTube. Remind us that we're doing it for a reason. You claim you've picked a side? You claim you're on our side? So now it's time to start a new hashtag. Prove it, YouTube. Prove to us why we are here. Prove to us that our voices matter. Prove to us that you stand up for the good intended creators on your platform. Prove it, YouTube. While there are clearly a lot of things that need to be fixed and questions that need to be answered, this seems like it could very well be a step in the right direction. And while in this moment, the potential outcome is pure speculation, if anyone has the balls and tenacity to ensure this truly is a turning point in the conversation, I have the utmost confidence in Max. His intentions have been made abundantly clear. We need to take care of one another. We need to stand up for one another. We need to be accountable to one another. And while this is just the beginning and could potentially still go sideways, we all need to remember that a glass with half its liquid is still half full, and it is a lot easier if we all stand together to simply fill the glass. Instead of worrying that this may be another Answer Us YouTube and that this will just result in another ad apocalypse, we need to remember that we are all stronger together, and our voices are much louder when we raise them as one. When we join together, it no longer matters what our individual size is. Our voices all matter equally. It's time to move past Pick a Side YouTube. And now it's time to say, prove it, YouTube.
Late nights, been on long flights, stayed on strange time. It's a strange time in my life. I took a drive home to clear my mind, and I ended back at your spot for what felt like the millionth time. Reconnection from separate sections, cause we could meet in the middle with no sense of direction. If it's sun up to sundown,